You're listening to the Blue 82 Podcast, hosted by Craig and Nicholas. Please like and subscribe so we know that you like what we're doing. And now, let's talk football. Blue 82!
All right, welcome back everyone to the Blue 82 Podcast. I am here with my co-host Nicholas. I am Craig, and this is going to be episode 15.
Delayed episode 15.
Very, very delayed episode 15, yeah, but we're still getting it done regardless. It is Wednesday right now?
Yeah, well, about to be Thursday.
Wednesday, about to be Thursday. Oh, Nick, we didn't even talk about how are you gonna upload this? Am I gonna upload it? We'll figure that out later.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely you.
Yeah, I realize that. You're gonna have to help me with that after the episode. But, anyways.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
With that being said, this is kind of a delayed episode. Nick's
super delayed.
Hanging out with his girl. So he might sound a little different setup. But we're still getting it done at the end of the day. Me and Nick aren't feeling the greatest, so we might both be coughing here and there. I apologize in advance. It's that time of year, you know how it is. But before we hop into the episode, we're going to do a quick rundown of things. Just because it's like 3 days away from the normal time we film the episode, me and Nick are going to forget some stuff.
I'm on a computer. He's not a computer. We don't have storage.
So
save data. Like, that shit gets deleted once the game's over. Like,
100%. Well, like, most of the time, once the Monday podcast is over, I done forgot about the week before. So don't hate us. Don't hate us for if we say something wrong or mess up an injury that we talk about or whatever. Just bear with us. We'll be back to normal next week and everything will be good. But the late episode, kind of chalked episode, but we're here. We're vibing. Before we get into it too much, again, we just want to say we appreciate y'all. Thanks for everything. I know we talked about a couple episodes ago that our YouTube handle, you see here, like at the top, it actually says the Blue 82 at the Blue 82 Podcast. So it looks like it is official now. So we did get that, so that's pretty cool. So you should just be able to go to like youtube.com/ at Blue 82 Podcast and it'll go straight to our channel. Just for anybody wondering it, trying to find it easier, things like that.
Yeah, the link is on your Twitch too, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, it should be. All the links should be everywhere on our socials, and it's all interchangeable.
Ooh, actually, I might have to update the link on the Twitch.
Oh, yeah, because it's going to be at the Blue 82 Podcast now.
Yeah, you got to change it. We'll change it after.
But yeah, so that's pretty cool. We've been getting some, like we talked about last time, some consistent views and stuff like that. So shout out to y'all. We're enjoying this thing, so we're going to keep it going for sure. You got anything before we hop into like news and injuries?
Appreciate the support.
Nick is down bad right now.
My voice is like.
No, I hear you.
I'm not trying to like talk too much because like if I talk too much, like my voice gets like super dry right now.
I hear you. I can carry it. Just real quick, again, I'm gonna forget some stuff. This is just a couple things I'm seeing. I think the biggest news is probably...
We're going to forget a lot of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest news that's happened this week, today, is the quarterback, Zach Wilson, for the New York Jets is currently being benched. You can call it what you want, benched, job taken, whatever. But it looks like the Jets are
Needed to happen.
Yeah, it did need to happen. Looks like the Jets are going to start Mike White, which I don't know if y'all remember last year. He started like 1 or 2 games and did decent. I don't think he's the answer for the Jets, but hopefully he at least throws the ball better than Zach Wilson does. You know what I mean? Because, dude, he is bad.
Yeah, I mean, he did everything you don't want to have happen. Like your one rookie quarterback doesn't improve at all in year 2. So making the same rookie mistakes over and over and over, throwing bad balls, throwing picks. Like, yeah, they were winning games, but like we always talked about, they're winning games in spite of Zach Wilson, not because of Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, we've been talking about it for a minute now. Like, we have a whole episode, literally, where he's thumbnailed, I'm pretty sure, talking about, like, not drafting the right guys and overhyping them at the draft and things like that. And pretty much exactly what happened with this guy. Like we talked about him before, whenever like we were talking about earlier. Like we were in a voice chat like all long ass time ago, like when he was getting drafted, like what 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Talking about like where even like who even is BYU, like who did he even play? And like played like Army, Navy, like nobody teams, nobody schools. And it's like this guy, he's not getting it done. You know what I mean, Craig?
Oh, I agree completely.
Like decision making is absolutely abysmal.
And then
Like I don't understand.
Not only that, but to go into the press conference and say that the offense didn't.
Oh yeah, that was another
game,
thing too. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Crazy. You cannot. You had what 77 yards?
I think that was they had like wasn't it 2 yards in the second half?
Yeah, it was
entirely,
terrible,
2 yards.
dude. Like,
I think that also is like that. Honestly, might be like the bad play. Like you can excuse it, whatever. Like you're winning games, but like not excuse it. Like you can overlook it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're winning. It works when you're winning, but when you're losing, that's when the finger pointing starts happening.
Oh yeah.
But I think that alone was like probably what led to him being benched because like if you don't retaliate or like
do something
like
about
the coach
that.
doesn't step in and do something, like you're gonna lose that locker room in an instant.
And I think that's why Salah did it because he knew that he had to make a change, even if he
And
does it
there's
for a couple of weeks.
There's just no way that like you literally don't even like accept any responsibility.
Yeah, that
like
is
you need a
terrible.
stern talking to you. Like you need paychecks reduced or something. Cause
it has to be cut.
There's no fucking way you sat there and said, "Yeah, we got 2 yards in the whole second half, 3 points in total, and I didn't cost my team."
Yeah, no, that is definitely not good.
That's that was wild. I almost forgot about that. That was wild when I watched that press conference. I had to watch it in full because I was like, "There's no way he said that."
Yeah, no, I was baffled.
Like that's out of context.
That's just something you can't say.
But yeah, also too the other quarterback that apparently is being benched is David Mills.
Yeah, I don't know if that one's
not official though.
Like we talked about earlier. I don't believe that one's official yet, but there is rumors of it possibly happening. I know Adam Schefter tweeted it.
There's no way it got like leaked, and it's not like
right.
It's not like being talked about. Or at least like looked at like it being talked about or something.
Yeah, I saw.
There's no way out of thin air like they just talk about this for like no reason.
No, I think
it's David fucking Mills.
I think it's definitely talked about. And I think the only reason why I say it's not official is because Adam Schefter tweeted out that Kyle Allen was going to start, but then somebody like quoted it and said that like Lovie Smith said that there's a possibility for a quarterback change, but never. I don't think he's actually like came out and said it.
All I saw was that like he was non-committable, committed to a quarterback for Sunday.
So we'll see.
Either way, they're gonna get fucking their shit smoked anyway.
Yeah,
Dolphins
Davis Mills, Kyle Allen,
dropping 40. Don't matter who the quarterback is. You could fucking have prime Michael Vick or Peyton Manning. Ain't gonna make a difference.
Not with that roster we got, because that shit is bad.
I was trying to think of quarterbacks you have in your franchise, and you guys. I don't think you guys ever had a good quarterback.
I mean,
Deshaun Watson, I guess. Other than that,
bro, we haven't.
Did you have like no Hall of Famers? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, you guys are from like 2002, so it is all good.
We'll see what happens with that in the coming future. Another piece of news, I guess, injury related, is Jamar Chase looks like he's practicing again. I think Joe Burrow came out and said that it looks like he's going to start. So I think Jamar Chase will be back, which is exciting. We're fans of him for sure. The dude is electric.
I have absolutely no sources on this, but I feel like Kyle Murray's probably gonna be coming back soon. He's gotta be getting bored of Call of Duty, you know what I mean?
He ran out of double XP tokens.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's got to be like, okay, I'm ready to play football.
I think I did see something about him. They're saying he's gonna start
because Warzone 2 just came out. You know what I mean? So maybe he wants more money. He needs to get that money, game check, so he can go buy some more packs. What are they called? COD points?
COD points, yeah. No, I do think he is playing, or is playing.
You like that stuff that way today?
I do like that, though. That's really good. I saw a video, bro, and it's fucking hilarious. And I know we always joke about the Call of Duty thing with Kyler, but we only joke about it, and everybody only jokes about it because it's fucking true. The guy sucks after Call of Duty get released. Like, it makes no sense.
I mean, he's entirely sucked this whole season, but...
Oh, I agree.
That's a completely different story.
Another piece of news, Rams waived running back Darrell Henderson which
Oh,
kind of a surprising
another
move.
piece of news was Matthew Stafford one.
Oh, Matthew Stafford is out. That's another quarterback piece of news. I forgot about that one.
He's had back-to-back concussions now too.
Yeah, he's missed what? Like, he missed a week, and then he came back and played, and then had a concussion again, and then they're already ruling him out. So he might miss a week or another week, kind of like a Tua thing.
Yeah, he's not looking good.
Yeah, Darrell Henderson got waived by the Rams. He did get picked up by the Jaguars. So just
I'm gonna tell you right now, the Rams are in
insurance.
shambles.
Oh, the Rams are down bad, bro. Like,
You got rid of this guy, and then you kept Cam Akers, the guy who didn't even want to be there.
Yeah,
Like, you didn't even want him to be there. He didn't want to be there, and now he's back to probably being your starting running back again.
Essentially.
Like,
yeah, it
makes no sense.
It's crazy, but yeah, he did get signed to the Jags. They claimed him. So just some insurance.
Makes an
there.
interesting move.
Oh, for sure.
Because now is he going to be James Robinson and Jacksonville again?
I don't think so. I think the way Etienne's been playing, bro. I think
he's going to take like snaps here and there just to get Etienne breaks.
I think that's what it's going to be because I think that's why they got rid of James Robinson, right? Because Etienne is just so dynamic and they love what he's doing there.
I mean, at the same time, you have to pay James Robinson anyway, but
yeah, that's true. Another piece of running back news was Melvin Gordon for the Broncos got released as well.
Not really surprised, honestly.
I'm not either. He's been playing bad, but
he's been fumbling a lot.
They're also losing all their running backs. I mean, Javonte Williams tore his ACL. They trade for Chase Edmonds. He gets a high ankle sprain. Their running back now is Latavius fucking Murray. Like, what are we doing? Is this 2012? What are we doing here?
What a throwback name, Latavius Murray.
Yeah, right. He's their starting running back, dude. Like, there's nobody else. I mean, Marlon Mack is there too.
Didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did for a bit. He was on the Saints at the beginning of the year. He scored 2 touchdowns in London, and then ended up signing, and then went back to the practice squad. Went back to the practice squad, and then ended up getting signed by the Broncos. Like, I don't know.
That guy's been around for a minute. You remember? What was that running back name? He played for at the time was the, what I want to say, it was the Washington team, Commanders. What was his name? Alfred something, wasn't it?
Alfred Morris? Yeah.
What a throwback name.
Oh, for sure.
Anyway, continue.
I think, again, we're missing so much
stuff. Wait, no. I'm not thinking of Latavius Murray. What was the...
You're thinking of DeMarco Murray? Yeah,
DeMarco Murray. That's what his name was.
The Cowboys guy, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought he played on. I know he played for the Saints, though.
That's a true throwback.
That's what I was thinking of. Where's that guy? I want to Google that guy.
That guy's like 45, probably. Fuck.
That's true.
Oh, another piece of news. Justin Fields apparently is like tore his shoulder or it's out of socket or something.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I remember hearing seeing that too. It was after the game or during the game.
Yeah, they're saying that he could play. It just depends on pain management. I think it's going to be like a similar situation like Herbert was in the beginning of the season where he had
with the ribs.
Yeah, with the ribs. Like, it's just going to be if he can handle the pain. I don't know if I would force it. I mean, he's your quarterback of the future. You sound like you're fucking in the playoffs. I don't know. But
I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't stop those guys, honestly.
No, for sure. So that's just something to keep an eye on. Another piece of quick news that I don't think...
update to Marco Murray. He's a running back coach in Oklahoma. Shout out Oklahoma.
Nice. Okay. Another thing that we talked about that we won't get into too much, just because it really doesn't involve like players a whole lot, but it is a piece of NFL news. The Titans offensive coordinator, Todd Downing, got arrested for a DUI. So, I think he's still the OC. I think the NFL is looking into it, but I guess right now he's still the OC. They had that big win against, who was it? Who did they play that week? Because this happened like last week, I think it was.
Wasn't it the Thursday game?
I want to say it was the Thursday game. Was it week 11? Yeah, it was when they beat the Packers. Yeah. They like flew home, and I assume he was just drinking on the plane and shit, and then went home and ended up getting arrested for a DUI or some shit. I don't know. Crazy. But we'll break that game down later, real quick. But I mean, there's a bunch of injuries and stuff, and I feel bad for not mentioning them or not seeing them. But my mind's just drawing a blank on most of them. Again, this is kind of a chalked episode. We're getting one out there just so we can have one out there, so we're not missing them. You know what I mean? You got anything that's off the top of your
It's
head?
all at the end of the day, it's all mostly about the recapping. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. We just go through these
Alright.
sometimes.
Yeah, like we usually talk about the bigger injuries, the bigger pieces of news, but we're not here to talk about like, oh, the random third string safety for the Cowboys tore his
Shout out.
his tendon. You know what I mean? Like,
Shout out third string safety. Here we
you know
go.
what I mean? Like,
No,
I'm
I
not
agree.
like we're not here to discuss like all these like minor injuries and things like that. Like just the major ones, like the big names.
I mean,
like,
could we do that? Yeah, but we'd be here for 3-4 hours. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm
No-
saying. Like, there's 53 dudes on every roster. At the top of that, there's like what 5 dudes getting signed and
Yeah.
cut every day. Like I don't we don't have the time for that.
Yeah, and we already
I don't
end
even
up
know all
having
these dudes.
we already end up having somewhat long episodes. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and
Yeah.
get into the recap. We'll start just because I don't think we
We have to
talked
go
about
back
this
to
game.
week 10, right?
Yeah, week 10. The
Week 10 Monday night.
Commanders
The
at the
biggest
Eagles.
game.
The Eagles got their first loss, man. It was
That's what I'm
just
saying,
such an ugly game for the Eagles. Like, so many mistakes, man.
Herbert didn't look, or not Herbert. Sorry, Hurts didn't look as good as he probably normally does, in my opinion.
Yeah, we won't get into that because we already
The
had
run
that
game was
conversation.
like
Dude,
the
they're
run
not
game was
running the ball.
non-existent.
It's
That's
the
what I'm
same,
saying.
same
like,
thing when they played the Colts this week. They just
The
seem like they're not
first-
running the ball.
The first quarter, I want to say they only ran it, or was it the first quarter? Maybe first half. I can't
I think
remember.
it was
like,
first half. They ran it like 5
like,
times.
yeah,
Yeah,
like-
running back.
It was like 3 times for Sanders and like 2 times for their Gainwell maybe or something like
Yeah,
that.
it made no sense.
And then, well, actually, looking at the stats here, so Sanders had 12, Hurts had 6, Gainwell had 1, Boston Scott had 1. So it was just Sanders. I think yeah, Meta had like 3 carries, dude,
yeah,
and then Hurts had like 5.
yeah. I will
So that's what
say
I'm saying. Like,
about this game, in my opinion, like, did the Commanders play good? Yes, but the Eagles could have won this game. They just made too many mistakes. It seemed like every time they were about to drive at the end to make a comeback, the
yeah, they had
fucking
fumble.
they fumbled it. The tight end fumbled it. The fucking wide receiver made a great
Hurts
catch.
Hurts threw 1 interception.
Yeah, it hurts to the 1 interception. Like, it just seemed like every time they were like about to make a play or make a move to tie it or take the lead, they just shoot themselves in the foot. You know what I mean? It just wasn't a good
Yeah.
game.
I'm surprised they abandoned the run game completely, pretty much, for like the first half.
Yeah,
And it seems like the second half they were leaning on it a bit more, but it's like you would have done that the first half, you probably would have been winning this game. Like
yeah, and I don't know. Like their
it kind of
run
just
game
goes back
is-
to that whole thing that like we always talk about, how like you got too cute with it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and I think too,
Like
like
you overthought it.
the thing with the Eagles, and I don't know how it works for a lot of the times because I know the Eagles, they run a lot of RPO. Like that's what their whole fucking offense is based off. So I don't know if that's them not running the ball is based off Jalen Hurts just trying to throw it over and over again, or if he's just seeing something and that's why he's throwing it over and over again, or what. But like I feel like sometimes like yeah, you can install RPO and run that all day long in your team and it works great. But sometimes you need to decide like it's okay to hand the ball off. You know what I mean? We need to run the ball more. And it didn't look like they did it that game. Again, the Colts game they played this week that they won, it didn't really look like it in that one either. Which we'll break that down later. But this was definitely tough to lose to the Commanders. I mean, Commanders played good. Their offense was fucking just keeping the ball away from the Eagles. The Commanders had 40 minutes of time of possession. The Eagles had 20. Like, it's just crazy. The Commanders were getting these long drives. The Eagles' defense couldn't get off the field. It was just a bad game altogether.
Yeah, the Eagles just looked terrible.
But what did we say all along? I mean, they're probably still going to be a 14-win team. They could easily lose a couple division games. You know
I mean,
what
all that
mean?
matters now is
Secure
you
that
lost
number
that
one
game,
seed.
so it's like the pressure's off now.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like you're not gonna go undefeated. Like just go out there and do what you can do now.
I think it's better for them at the end of the day. You know what I mean? They
I
get,
mean,
like
obviously,
you
it's
said,
like
that
you want to see a
pressure's
team
off.
go undefeated, whatever. Like that'd be cool, but at the end of the day, like it's pretty stressful. Like having to like
Oh yeah.
go out there. Like the mindset completely is different. Like I want to actually like not get hurt, or I'm not gonna like if I'm hurt, I'm not gonna stay out. Like you know what I mean? I might push myself too hard to go
Right.
out there and win a game, even though they're already what 8 and would have been what 8-0, 9-0, whatever.
If they won that, they would
Like
have been 9-0.
that's what
Or
I'm
yeah,
saying.
9-0.
Was that like is that win really worth like tearing your ACL to lose for the whole? You know what I mean?
No.
Like that's why it's like. I feel like now it's like you lost that once, and now it's like the monkey's off the bag. You can go out there and just play your game freely now. Like you don't have to overthink it. And maybe that's what Hurts was trying to do too. Maybe he's trying to overthink it by throwing it too much, or
Yeah, I think so.
you know what I mean?
No, 100%.
I don't know. So like now it's like you can play loose again.
Yeah, you can get back to what you were doing beforehand. I agree completely. I definitely, like you said, I just think it's better for him at the end of the day. Like, you want to see a team go undefeated just because that's NFL history. That's sick. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
just the pressure is definitely off of him now. That was week 10 wrapped up. Week 11, we had Thursday night game, which was a pretty good one in my eyes, right? You had the Titans and the Packers. Like, yeah, it was 27-17.
Wasn't bad, but man,
In my eyes, it was good just in the fact of, like, we're starting to see the Titans offense be the Titans offense of old with, like, A.J. Brown. Like, Treylon Burks was healthy. Derrick Henry was running the ball. The play action was working. They were getting some big, deep passes to Treylon
I want to
Burks.
say it was like what the first drive of the game. They stuffed Derrick Henry, and then boom, a big play with Traylon Burks, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Like that was like the first opening drive. They had that
Yeah.
big play touchdown almost. Not big play touchdown. It was a big play
It was
right
like
to
a
Traylon Burks.
40-yard
And then,
pass or something.
yeah,
Yeah, it was it's definitely good to see. Like I said, they're kind of getting to the Titans of old.
I think I remember too. The Packers had a chance in this, but like their defense just couldn't stop them.
Couldn't stop them. Yeah, they were picking it up. In my eyes, bro, it seemed like the Packers kind of fell back down to earth, right? Like they beat the Cowboys, right? They're probably excited. They're like, we're getting back on track. Here we go.
The Packers just suck.
The Packers just suck. I mean, Christian Watson finally doing something, but it's still like they're struggling altogether.
I mean, what has it been? Fucking how many weeks? And
He didn't do anything until week 10.
that's what I'm saying. He's had what 2 back-to-back weeks now of him actually doing something.
He's got 5 touchdowns in 2 weeks. It's crazy. Looking at this, bro, like I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers have a losing record at the end of the year. Like it looks crazy, but them already
It's
down
all
3
gonna
losses
happen.
is probably going to happen. Yeah, and they just don't look great. The Titans again.
I mean, right now they're 4-7. Like, how else? Like, where do you go from here?
You'd have to win fucking.
The season's over.
Yeah.
Like, what are you playing for at this point?
No,
They
100%.
pull up their schedule. They play.
Another piece of just quick news since we're talking about it. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, they play the Eagles.
Yeah, they play the
Right.
Eagles this
So
week.
probably chalk that to an L.
Yeah.
You play the Bears. He owns the Bears. Might win that one. Rams. That's a fair matchup. He might win that. He might lose that. I don't know.
Dog shit against dog
Dolphins
shit.
probably gonna lose that.
Yeah.
Vikings might split that one. Maybe not. And then Lions probably gonna maybe win that one. Maybe lose that one. I don't know. And what are they right now? 4-7. So 4-8, 5-8.
They're probably gonna finish like 9-8 or something like
That's what I'm
that.
saying. They might be able to go 8-8, but it's not gonna be a winning
Yeah.
season.
No, it's not.
Or what is it? 8-9 maybe, whatever it
8,
is.
9, yeah. They're just yeah.
Either they go 8-9 or they go 9-8 maybe.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I see it going like 7
7 and
10,
10.
whatever.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard, Nick, but apparently Aaron Rodgers has had a broken thumb this whole time that he's been playing with.
Oh yeah, I saw
and
that. They
that's
wrapped it
why
up.
he hasn't
Fuck off. Whatever.
And that's why he hasn't been as accurate.
Yeah,
But whatever.
I don't give a shit.
I can't
dude.
stand people that are playing with these injuries and then want to bring it up 6 weeks later. It's like, dude, you're just doing that to cover your ass. You know what I mean? Because you're
Same
playing
with the
like
Josh
shit.
Allen elbow injury. I get it, you're hurt, but you're playing. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what you're hurt with him.
Yeah, I hear you.
If you're playing and you're out there on the field, then honestly, it's not hard enough for you to that you're costing your team. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
No, for sure. Next we had the Bears at the Falcons. Falcons pulled this one out. I thought the Bears were gonna have a chance to win this, but Falcons again squeak out another.
What is it?
Game.
Back-to-back weeks now. Justin Fields for a pick.
Yeah, I think
to lose the game basically.
Yeah, he reminds me.
What was his best impression of Justin Herbert?
I was gonna say Lamar sometimes too, like just trying to do too much because he knows it's like all on his back. You know what I mean? Like don't have weapons.
I feel like the thing is like when he gets in those like obvious passing situations,
he just can't.
He just kind of he's not good enough. You know what I mean? Yet.
No, 100%.
And it's like that's the same thing with Lamar. It's like Lamar sometimes, like I was on oh, this isn't like the best like evaluation website or anything, but I was on like Reddit for like the Ravens like subreddit, and like some of the people are talking about like how like they think of like Lamar and like they say like sometimes he's like on a game like he's pinpoint accurate, like he's hitting every throw, making every play, and there's the next game, boom, he's Lamar
missing everything,
lost in the fucking head, like deer in the headlights, like he's lost, like he's overthrowing guys, he's underthrowing, missing everything, and it's like. That's the same thing with probably Justin Fields. You know what I mean? Like, there's probably times where it's like he's on the money throws, and there's times where it's like he overthrew him. Like he had a chance. I bet on this game. And I remember watching it on Red Zone. He had a chance where like he had a guy wide open. I don't remember if it was Mooney. It might have been Mooney.
It was Darnell Mooney down the right sideline.
Like
he was wide the fuck open, and he overthrew the fuck out of it. Yeah.
And that would have, taken the lead, I think it was, again?
Yeah, it was early in the game when it happened, I think, but it still would have been a game changer. You know what I mean?
But again, those are game-changing plays. But it's like, things like that, like, you gotta make those throws. Like, he was wide open, busted coverage all day.
Same thing with Lamar. He misses a lot of those throws.
And that's the thing, too. Like, you didn't even have to you didn't have to put that much on it.
Yeah, he could have floated that one.
He could have underthrown it, honestly, and it would have been fine. Because, like, he was so wide open. I was like, it doesn't even matter at that point.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, Lamar does the same thing too. Like he just overshoots it.
But you're absolutely right when it comes to. I've seen it time and time with the.
And I'm just gonna say real quick. I don't know if that's like mechanic issues or if that's just them like they're still young and like they're just excited. Like, oh my god, he's so open. Like they throw it and it's like, well.
I'd like to think it's just they're too amped up. You know what I mean? They know that they got a wide open
too excited.
guy.
Like, oh my god, he's so open, and then you throw it and it's like, well, I put too much on it.
Yeah. And I mean, it happens to the best of us, but to be one of these elite quarterbacks, you need to make those throws.
All about consistency, man.
Yeah.
To be a top 5 at any position, you got to be consistent.
100%. But
you can't be good for one game, shit the next game. You got to be consistent.
I definitely agree with you with the obvious passing downs. Like Fields just doesn't thrive. It seems like every time they get in those obvious situations where they're behind. And they don't have a lot of time. Like he just can't get anything done.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like he maybe like panics a little bit. And so you gotta just like you gotta settle down and trust what you're doing.
With that being said, too, I don't know if that's just because of lack of weapons. Dudes can't get open. I mean, that could be a thing as well. But I don't know.
I see the same problems with Zach Wilson too. It's like when not in like the obvious passing system, but like decision making. Like the guy's open. Like you gotta just trust it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a big problem with a lot of these young quarterbacks. Is like they're not trusting what they're seeing. Because there are times too, like I've seen people break down Zach Wilson's tape, and like guys are open, but he's not throwing.
He's just not throwing it to him, yeah.
And that's just clearly to me like either you're not seeing the field, obviously, like so you're not going through the reads properly, or you just simply don't know the playbook or something. You know what I mean? Like there's something wrong. Where it's like you should be able to recognize like, okay, this is the coverage I'm against. This is the play. This guy should probably be open. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think, too, like, with that being said, I think it's funny because I saw a video last night and it was Ben Roethlisberger on his little podcast or whatever it is, and he was talking about George Pickens, and he was like, yeah, that dude was if that dude's one-on-one, the way he's been balling, I'm throwing it up to him. And if you think about it, like, that's another reason why Antonio Brown thrives so much is because Big Ben would trust him, and he would say, fuck it, Antonio Brown's down there somewhere. That's why we see these quarterbacks like Joe Burrow, like, succeed sometimes because they're trusting their skill to put the ball in the right spot. They're also trusting their wide receiver to, hey, I think you're the better guy. Use your talents to beat this cornerback. I'm going to put it up to you. Versus, like, Zach Wilson.
We really saw it with Justin Jefferson against the Bills. Yeah. Really put it up on him 4th down, your best playmaker.
Exactly.
Why not?
Same thing with Kirk Cousins. Like, These
That's what I'm
guys
saying.
like
You gotta trust the guy to make a play.
they have a
like,
good
I like
little
it.
wide receiver in Garrett Wilson on the Jets. You know what I mean? Like Zach just struggles, I think,
Yeah.
to trust himself and to trust his receivers, and he just doesn't give them enough chances sometimes. And I think it's because he's so worried about making that mistake that he overthinks it and doesn't either that or just can't read the fucking defenses at the end of the day. But
I just don't think you can read the defense.
Yeah.
Other than that.
and excuse me, my buddy Tyler talks about it all the time. He's like, dude, these because he studies like a lot of college film and draft prospects and shit, and he always tells me like these new quarterbacks coming up, they just can't read defenses as fast. And we see it. We see sometimes we got quarterbacks that can read defense as well, and then you see other quarterbacks that can't. But he likes to say that a lot of the new quarterbacks coming out of college can't read defenses fast enough. And if that's true, I mean, we see it with quarterbacks like Zach Wilson.
I can definitely get behind that take. Like when I was watching, like when I watched Tua, if you ever watch like the Dolphins play, like Tua, like is like we see his head like moving so much. It's like boom, boom, boom. He's looking for it, boom, balls out, and I'm like, wow, like looks good. You know what I mean? And that's what Tom Brady looked like. That's what Aaron Rodgers looked like.
Yep, I see that.
Like all those veteran like good quarterbacks.
Sometimes
You see, like,
too. I see it in Mahomes.
like boom, boom, like his head's moving, boom, like balls out.
You gotta be.
And then I'm
quick with
watching
it.
like, and then like when I was watching Red Zone because the Dolphins had a bye week this week or last week, so I was watching Red Zone with Janine, and I'm just like watching these quarterbacks, and it's like the guy's open, like he's just standing there, like he doesn't move, doesn't step up, you know what I mean? And boom, he gets sacked. And I was like, well, what'd you expect to happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't just stand there all fucking day. Like you got to either make a play or throw it. Like
excuse me, just not enough anticipation with your throws. You know what I mean? Like you got to know where they're going to be
exactly,
at. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
I'm dying.
Dude,
Moving on.
I was just gonna say because there's one too. Because like how he talks about how Hurts likes to run the RPO. There was one too where like people were arguing about like who's better at RPO, like Mahomes, Tua, or Hurts, and like people were saying that Tua is probably like one of the best of his back turned RPOs. Because like he literally is like his back's like, you know what I mean? Like they're like doing the play action, like your back's turned, like you can't see anything.
Yeah.
And like he turns around and boom, the ball's like out right on the money. Like I'm like, yeah, like, that's like that's super anticipation. Like you're not even like you can't even see
You just know
what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like you're trusting. Yeah, like that's just ultimate trust in your players and yourself that like you know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
Like you recognize that it was zone or man, and you knew exactly like what to do. But yeah, moving on.
Next we got. Dude, it's like I got this tickle in the back of my throat, and it's like every time I inhale, it like tickles it, and then it makes me cough. Sorry, my allergies are fucked.
Hey, you're good.
Next we got the Panthers and the Ravens. This was an ugly game. I don't even know. Like, how does this happen? The Ravens should have put up 30 on their head. But
that's another piece of news too. Baker Mayfield got benched again.
That poor guy is going.
Hey, I don't know if he's benched or got hurt again. I don't know. Something happened, but now it's Sam Darnold.
I don't think anything happened. I think they just came out and said that we're gonna give Sam Darnold some shots because it's kind of
like they're just quarterback roulette over there.
They're just trying to figure out what they got in the building. I think.
That sounds makes sense.
It
sucks too because at this point we probably would have seen Matt Corral, but
yeah, but he's hurt.
Is his name Cordell, whatever his name was,
or something like that.
Yeah, but unfortunately he was hurt. I think it was in preseason or earlier in the year, something like that. But yeah, he probably would have been playing by now, honestly.
Oh, for sure.
He would have said, "Fuck it, you're next man up."
And they probably would have like given him a lot more like leeway. You know what I mean? Versus like these other guys that
he probably would have started and then
just
played the whole year.
Yeah, for sure.
And then at the end of the year, we would have said, "Well, he's ass."
Yeah, moved on, or he could have been fucking goated somehow, and I doubt it.
But good luck to Sam Darnold. Maybe he can follow in his fellow Geno Smith, New York Jet revolution, and
come back.
I don't know, turn his career around. I don't know. I don't think they're doing anything.
No, I don't think so.
I don't even know who they play next. But it's probably going to be a slaughter.
Yeah, this game was just boring. The Ravens just couldn't score, man. Like it was like 3-3 for the longest time, dude. And then they finally got a touchdown and another field goal. But this was just an ugly game. I really don't.
It was looking at the box score here. It was 3-0 for the Ravens going into the second. Coming into the third, the Panthers scored 3, so tie game. Going to the fourth, The Ravens didn't put up 10 points.
Yeah, just ugly, man.
The first points of the game came literally, literally 5 seconds before halftime.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, super slow game. Baker Mayfield had 2 interceptions. Lamar had 1. 3 sacks on Lamar, 4 on Baker. Yeah, just... Oh, what is his name? DeMarcus Robinson, I remember that. Yeah, he popped
like
off
100 yards, yeah, something like that.
128 yards. I don't really remember this game. I remember, like, seeing it a little bit, and, like, Justin Tucker, who's, like, he's my fantasy kicker. I remember seeing him, like, have, like, no points. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And I looked at the game, and it was like 3-3, and I'm like, well, I probably
think
explains
this was
why.
just a game where, like, nobody was, like, necessarily making a whole, like, yeah, Baker had the 2 picks, but it just seemed like neither team could move the fucking ball. I think they punted the ball fucking back and forth a million times. Like, it was just an ugly game. Like, one of those games, I guess. You know what I mean? You get some every week.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it happens.
It's NFL. That's why I like, too, like, I hate these people, and I know we say it sometimes, and everybody out there says it. They're like, well, these teams should beat the fuck out of these teams or whatever. And then they try to say, well, oh, this team only won by 3 points. That means they're not as good because this team is the worst in the league. But it's like, dude, this is the NFL. Do you not realize that some teams match up better against other teams and have better game plans against other teams? Like, it's just how it works. I mean, we see it all the time where you have these upsets that you don't expect, and it's because, just, like I said, some teams just match up better against other teams. They have better players that can cover those other players on the opposite team versus a different team. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of the, it's the NFL.
I'll tell you right now, I think the Bills are a better team than the Dolphins, hands down. But looking at the Dolphins, they put up, 39 points, almost 40 points on the Browns the week before. They go and play the Bills, and they almost win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and by far, in my opinion, Buffalo and Josh Allen are better than Tua and the Dolphins, right? They should be, at least, right?
I think it could maybe be argued, but yeah, for the sake of this conversation, yeah, I think you're right.
Like, hands down, I take Buffalo's team over our entire team. Like, number 1 offense, number 1 defense, right?
What's crazy is I don't even know if I would. Like, the way that the Dolphins are
coming into the
up,
season, though.
Coming into the season, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, it's crazy to me that it's like, people still have that opinion, because, like, it's literally, like, the quote-unquote Super Bowl favorite, and, like, they almost didn't beat the Browns.
Yeah.
Like, granted, you, again, Josh Allen struck, like, in his middle, like, mid-season breakdown point, but it's like, that's the point I'm making. Like, it's the NFL. Like, there is no easy game. It's not like this is Alabama playing fucking
Purdue or
like,
some shit.
Yeah, like some random ass school where they literally go there and they're becoming engineers and not actually playing football.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's not the same thing.
These guys are literally getting paid hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. Like, they're going to go out there and they're going to try and do their best.
Yeah. And what's crazy, breaking down and talking about this Bills-Browns game, like, the Browns started off so hot. They could have literally been like 21-0 on the Bills. But they just did the typical Browns thing where they either turn the ball over or don't score and only get a field goal, and then the Bills ended up getting back into it. But the Browns definitely had a shot at this game, which seems like a reoccurring theme that we talk about with the Browns every week. Like, it just seems like they're so close, man. But yeah, I mean, the Bills take care of it in dominating fashion again.
Well, was that the next game actually too?
Yeah, it was the next game. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I didn't know if we went in order.
Yeah, no, that worked out.
Because my order's different because I'm not using the NFL website right now.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, no, that was the next.
I think my order's in the way like the game's finished.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was definitely a tight game. I thought at, like, when I was watching the game on Red Zone, I was like, the Bills might actually lose this game. Like,
yeah, because they've been
Josh
slumping
Allen
too.
played again. Yeah, like they've been, like I said, he's in his mid-season slump, and I'm like, Josh Allen isn't playing as good. The Browns might be able to actually do something here.
Yeah, and then they didn't. So,
Browns, what do you know?
Yeah, what do you know?
The Browns go on the Browns.
Yeah. Bills at 7-3, still sitting pretty.
Amari Cooper, still that guy though. Don't forget.
I was telling Tyler this the other day. Could you imagine, like,
imagine what?
I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, So I was because we were talking about quarterbacks and because he's a Jets fan and their quarterbacks in shambles right now, and then of course we were talking about quarterbacks and then we started talking about Watson, and then it just popped up in my head. I was like, could you imagine if Watson had like I know the Browns have Amari Cooper, but could you imagine if they got like a solidified guy like a Jefferson or a Jamar or somebody like that? And I said, what if they got somebody like Marvin Harrison Jr. coming up in the draft in 2 years now? Not this draft, but the next draft he'll be in. I was like, what if they get a guy like that? Like, just because I love when you see.
He's from Ohio, isn't he?
I think he is. I just love when you see like a good quarterback. And that remains to be seen with Watson right now, but that's neither here nor there. But I just love seeing these good quarterbacks with these stud wide receivers. You know what I mean? Because it just elevates both sides of.
And yeah, he is. He's on the Buckeyes.
Yeah. It just elevates the wide receiver and the quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, so I would just love, like, I think Amari's a guy, like, he's nice with it. You know what I mean? But I just don't put him in that same category as, like, a Jefferson, a Diggs, a Jamar Chase, you know what I mean? Cooper Kupp, like, these guys. So I feel like the Browns need to add another weapon, in my opinion. Like, I know they got the running backs and they love the run game, but I feel like if they get a solidified, better wide receiver, they could really do some damage.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's really what the NFL is becoming now. Like,
100%.
For the longest time, we had Mahomes with
Tyreek.
Sorry, we had Mahomes with Tyreek, and then with Kelsey, you had Tom Brady with prime Gronkowski, Amendola, Wes Welker, Randy Moss, like, what's the other guy's name? Danny Amendola, like, those guys all were Julian Edelman, like, those guys are all good. I mean, look at Tom Brady now. He's got Chris Godwin, Mike Evans,
Julio.
That's what I'm saying. Like, everyone's got weapons. Like, Tua's got Hill now, Waddle. Like, you got Joe Burrow. He's got T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, like, Joe Mixon. And then as much as people like to complain, but Herbert's got Allen, Williams, Eckler, like.
And even Palmer, who's not a bad little third wide receiver.
That's what I'm saying. Now he's also got Jared, what's his name? Gary Cook, the tight end, isn't his name? So it's like everyone's got weapons. Every good quarterback in NFL history has always had weapons.
Yeah.
I hate the argument that it's like, oh, like this guy it's just his wide receivers doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I literally look up any quarterback in NFL history and like everyone had someone. Like,
you still got to put the ball where you can fucking catch it too. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone has a good wide receiver because at the end of the day, if you're a good quarterback, it don't mean shit when you're throwing it to the guy's hands and he's just dropping it. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, people think of Joe Montana as like one of the greatest and like who played with Jerry fucking Rice.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
I think like the only like thing for that is like you can see like your solidified good quarterbacks when they have nobody and they still do well, and then you could see your solidified good wide receivers when they have a bad quarterback and still do well. You know what I mean? So like if you separate them, you can still figure out who is the best, but to be one of the greats, like, you need that weapon. Either a great wide receiver, you need a great quarterback. A great quarterback, you need a great wide receiver. Like, it's just how it is.
I mean, think of it right now. Like, what quarterback is there that's got no weapons that you think was, like, a franchise quarterback?
I think you can make the argument for Lamar, but he does have Mark Andrews. Like, if you were to say
no weapons... It's not like he has no weapons. Like,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, if you were to say no weapons, I don't even know if there's a guy you could say. There's weapons all across the league nowadays.
That's what I'm saying. The league's like diverse as fuck now.
Which is good as a fan standpoint, you know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying. I feel like the talent's like super spread out now.
Yeah.
Like,
and
there isn't
a lot
like
more of it.
Yeah, there's not like crazy like you can still get super teams, but it's not like crazy like how basketball is or anything like that. Like,
yeah,
it's so hard to make like a great top to bottom team.
A lot of people are trying to say that football's getting to become that, and it's like, I don't see how that's even going to be possible. Just because you're not going to.
The only way you can get to that is like drafting. Like, you have to just draft so well.
Yeah, get lucky. And not only that, there would have to be no salary cap. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't basketball have no salary cap?
Yeah, it doesn't, but there's like a tax. So it's like if you're willing to pay the extra tax on top, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so I mean, There's no way.
And
That's
like the
gonna
rich
happen
owners
at
don't give
all.
a shit. So it's
Oh
like
yeah, because they're building
pay it.
super teams to get championships out of that.
And then baseball, like they have no salary cap. Um,
Yeah, but baseball, in my opinion, with baseball, like there's no salary cap, and of course, you have your teams that spend buttloads of money, like the Dodgers and the Yankees, but the owners in baseball are a lot better about not wanting to spend money, in my opinion. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
not every team is out there fucking spending bukus
At the end
of
of the
money.
day, they're gonna have teams like Oklahoma, which is literally just a minor league team,
Yeah, exactly.
essentially playing in the big leagues. Like it's at the end of the day, it's like there's 32 teams. Someone's gonna be losing. Like
Yeah.
doesn't matter like how you try and slice it or dice it, but there's always gonna be shitty teams.
Exactly.
Like no matter what you do to try and change it, it's not gonna matter.
No, for sure.
That's why I think the whole like lottery, like draft lottery thing is so dumb. Because like, what's the point of having a team that finishes like barely bad and they end up getting the first round? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, can you imagine
I
a team like the 49ers, like per se, they missed the playoffs because Jimmy G got hurt or something like that,
they
or
get the first overall.
and then yeah, like
No, fuck
like
that.
really a team like that needs one. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
That's
makes no
that's
sense.
why they build super teams, is because of shit like that. That's
I mean, that's literally what happened with the Penguins, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Like they got Sidney Crosby the one year because they were terrible, and then they got Evgeny Malkin, which is another like second overall pick, I think it was, or third.
Yeah.
And then they got another player that was like a goalie that was second overall, first overall, and then they got another player that was like third overall. I was like, Jesus
fuck
Christ! Like
that.
you guys are just hitting picks back to back to back. And I was like, yeah, no wonder you guys won the Stanley Cup. Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, things like that, like, I don't think it should happen.
Yeah, I think it's dumb. Moving
Because like I said,
on.
you just end up with teams that, like, barely miss it, and it's like, well, that's
You-
cool.
You get the best pick in the draft.
Like I'm saying, it's like a 12% chance, like, so it's like, it shouldn't be happening very often, but it's like, it's still, like, it
Still
can
can
happen.
happen,
Like,
yeah.
it's still, yeah.
100%.
Man, what's the next game?
We have Commanders at the Texans. We both picked the Texans. I thought the Texans were going to play better, but once that game started and Davis Mills threw a pick six first drive, I was like, yeah, this game's fucking over.
That happened first.
That's what happened, bro. The Commanders, I think, went down and scored a touchdown or a field goal, and then Texans get the ball back.
All I
Literally,
know
like
is
first
that-
throw, Davis Mills throws a fucking a ball it's like a comeback route. He throws it to the wide receiver. The fucking cornerback jumps the fuck out of the route and just takes it to the house.
All I know is that this game was like fucking the Commanders defense. Like, I think it was like, what, 20, 30 points like that?
Yeah. Remember I fucking
I
messaged
don't
you and
remember.
I was
Something,
like,
yeah.
I was like-
Something wild about it. Was wild in fantasy. Like, I'm gonna
they
pull
had
it up
21 points in fantasy, the Commanders defense did. They had like 24 at one point, and then I think the Texans scored like a field goal and it knocked it down to 21. But
Yeah, 2 interceptions, 5 sacks, 1 for a touchdown, like just dominating.
yeah, it was nuts.
And I remember we called them out too, Craig, before. So
Yeah.
again, bad team though. So it's like that's what you want to see happen. But I'll give them
Give them the
I'll give
credit.
them their flowers. Yeah.
I mean, we expected this game to probably end like this. We just made a little choice. We wanted to call an upset. Me and Nick did, so we picked the Texans. But this is pretty much how I expected it. The Texans are fucking dog shit. Mark
At
my
the end of
words,
the day,
Nick,
it's like
Texans don't win another
The
game this
Commanders-
year.
the Commanders.
Commanders aren't bad.
Excuse me. The Commanders also like haven't looked great, and then they beat the Eagles, and that was Monday night. So we would have done our predictions before that game, right?
Yeah, that's true. We did.
That's another thing too to factor in because like now the Commanders look like they're starting to get it together
Yeah.
a little bit. With
That
Tyler
is true.
Heineke taking over now.
Yeah, he's definitely the better quarterback than Carson Wentz. I mean, I'm pretty sure I rewatched
I feel
one of our
like it's
episodes.
almost like I feel it's almost like the Fitzmagic situation. Like he's not a great quarterback per se, but he just like feeds the locker. You know what I mean? Like
When he gets put
They
in,
just
the
gotta
guys
buy-
just
they buy
rally
into him,
around
you know
him.
what I mean?
They rally
that's what I'm
around him.
saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, he's a good locker
unless
room
it's
guy.
Fitzmagic, like he isn't the best, but like people like him.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like his teammates like him.
I agree completely.
That's the vibe he gives me. Like
for sure. Next we have the Eagles and the Colts.
I just want to say something real quick.
Go
ahead. What's the point of Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson?
Dude.
Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, look at the stats right here. Pretty much the same carries. 18, 15 for Gibson, Robinson, respectively. Or however you say that. I don't know why I said respectively. But, so Gibson had 18 for 72, 4 yards a carry, no touchdowns. And then Robinson, 15, 57 yards, 3.8 a carry. It feels like Robinson honestly does nothing different.
Yeah,
than what Gibson can already give you. Like, it made no sense.
I think, with that being said, like, I do get your point. I think Robinson was a lot more explosive and better than Gibson before he got shot, and I still feel like he's not 100%. And no,
sorry, that's such a fucking weird.
No, it's crazy to say that, right?
Such a crazy sentence to say that.
Yeah, no, it is.
He got before he got shot. Like, Jesus.
It's true though, right? So.
That happened. Yeah, it's facts.
We heard the hype of Brian Robinson in the preseason. Like, I think they like Brian Robinson better. That's why they keep giving him touches. But I don't think he's as explosive as they saw in the preseason.
I think that could be a thing too. Or
yeah.
Also, the fact too that it's fucking preseason, you're playing third string.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I don't know. I think they want this to be Robinson's backfield, but I think he's just not producing at the moment. So that's why Gibson is still lingering around. And it's like
I don't know.
They just. I think they don't.
It just seems dumb to me.
No, 100%. And I think
I feel like like I said, I feel like Gibson did something or whatever because like he's never liked them. Ron Rivera.
Yeah, that's what I was literally about to say. Like, there's been rumors that Ron Rivera just doesn't like Gibson. Like, we saw it last year, how everybody was like, Antonio Gibson's going to be the next CMC, and then he just never even got utilized. Like, I think Riviera just doesn't like
something
Gibson.
Must have happened.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's definitely crazy to talk about. Like, it just... If they would just feed one of those guys, I think it would be better. But the whole split backfield thing, I've just hated it ever since it became a thing. Like, I don't want the league.
Once you're the 49ers, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't want the league to get back to where it's just running the ball over and over again like it was in the 80s or 90s or whatever. I'm not saying that when I say this, but I want the league to get back to where there's workhorse running backs. Like, I want there to be one running back in the backfield, and then another one comes in and is a change of pace every now and again, or runs 4 or 5 times a game. But this whole 15 and 15 thing, like, just gets old. I feel like they can't get in a rhythm. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you this real quick.
Like, I get why they do it. But
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I feel like it's just we're getting up to the point where those guys aren't going to be a thing anymore.
No,
like, look at Derrick Henry and look at his high school stats. That guy ran the ball wasn't like over 500 times.
He ran the ball a shit ton in high school. That's no wonder he's still doing what he does. Bro.
High school.
And then he was on Alabama that ran the fuck out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, high school, this guy's already got how many miles on his body, like legs, hits, tackles, like how much he's abused his body.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he went to college for another, 2-3 years?
Yeah.
Maybe even 4. I don't know how, was he a senior? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of abuse.
Oh, yeah.
To then go on to play in the NFL. So it's like, it's a wonder, like, that he's the workhorse that he still is today.
And then to get into the NFL and still average, 25 carries a game. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's, him, guys like him are anomalies.
No, I agree.
And that's the thing I feel like now, that's what we're getting at, is, these guys are, carrying the ball so much in high school, so much in college. Because, whenever you think about it, all these good running backs, pretty much, carry their teams.
Yeah. And that's what I like. That's why I like it, because I'm such a big fan of, Derrick Henry. And, you said it the right way. He's just such an anomaly, right? And I think that's why I want to get back to this, because I feel like there's anomalies out there. They just don't get fed the rock enough. You know what I mean? And I get why they don't do it is because they can't sustain it. You know what I mean? They want to get the correct use out of these players and keep them around for a while, and these players want to play for a while.
The only one I can think of before, Derrick Henry, that was, fun to watch as, a workhorse is, fucking Marshawn Lynch. That guy was fun to watch.
Oh, 100%. And I just love watching, I love watching
that one run he had against the Saints, where he just ran for, literally the whole team. My God, that guy.
Yeah, that shit.
That guy was insane.
Oh, yeah. No, and that's where I come from, my stance whenever I said what I said. I just enjoy watching Derrick Henry run the ball so much, and like people like you said, Marshawn Lynch, like those guys is just so fun to watch them get the ball 25, 30 times a game and just do something with it every single time because they always have that chance to just break one.
Yeah, I will say, like, there's a lot of running backs that could probably benefit from being given more opportunities.
Oh, for sure, bro. Like, and I
Like,
think
I feel like CMC could probably be
oh my god, dude,
up there, but
his
it's
body
like now
couldn't
it's like,
sustain it, but
I mean, you're probably right, but him only getting like 10 touches a game, like running the ball, is probably like
what's
probably not the
crazy?
greatest.
No, yeah, and especially too with how much what he's doing with so little. Like you look at that and you're like, dude, just give this dude the ball every play. Like, and that's why we saw him do so good
Yeah.
in Carolina because they gave him the ball every play. And what
And
happened?
then it
His body
literally
couldn't
resulted
handle
in
it.
1,000 receiving yards
Yeah.
and 1,000 rushing yards,
Yeah.
which in itself is disgusting.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if we'll ever see that again.
I don't think so.
That's just a crazy thing to think about. Anyways, Eagles, Colts. I know we got into a big rant talking about NFL, and then we got to running backs and shit. But the only reason I brought that up at the beginning was because a lot of people are going to say, well, the Eagles only beat the Colts by 1 point, but it's the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, did they play the greatest? Probably not, but the Colts matched up pretty well against them. You know what I mean? They shut them down in some areas.
They got what do they always call it? The honeymoon stage going on with just Saturday.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, and I think that's part of it as well.
The honeymoon stage gives you like plus 10 morale, you know?
100%, bro. It's crazy. Eagles squeaked out another one. I don't think they're playing their best ball right now. They need to get it figured out. Which I say that they don't necessarily need to get it figured out because you don't really want to hit your stride right until playoffs start to roll around. So they can do this for a couple weeks.
Jonathan Taylor's back.
He might be.
Just Saturday got the boys fucking turning into hogs again up front.
Dude, they needed to do something because that O-line on paper is nice, but they've been struggling.
I mean, it's literally the most expensive, so.
Yeah, we talked about that. Next, we got.
And his last, I was going to say real quick, in his last, what is that? His last 4 games, he missed a game against New England. So in their last 5 games, he's got 15.5 points, 5.6. Didn't play against New England, 24.3, 16.4.
In fantasy?
Yeah.
How excited are you about that?
Well, I drafted him first overall.
I know.
It's resulting in me being 9-2.
Yeah.
And he's been hurt pretty much the whole point.
Yeah. Nate took down the dude with the best record this week in our fantasy league. Nathan, the guy that was on our episodes earlier in the year. Nathan was what, 8-1? You took him down. Now they're tied for the best record. I'm sitting there at 8-3, I think. So I'm close. My team's had a couple bad weeks, but it is what it is. I still got a good team, but we'll see what happens. Playoffs are coming. It's getting exciting.
I think at this point, I was looking at the schedule earlier. I'm pretty sure at this point, if I just win 1 game, I'm in the playoffs essentially, I think. Like, walked in.
I think, to be honest, we were looking at it a while back, and it looks like it's going to be me, you, Nathan, and Janine anyways. No matter how
Actually,
you slice
Janine's
it.
out right now, so.
Wait, is she?
She slipped the last 2 weeks. She's lost 2 in a row now. She's 6-5.
She is, yeah. Yeah, I think it's almost a guarantee that me, you, and Nathan make it. It just depends on if she can.
The way it works out is I play Hamilton this week.
Yeah.
So he has to win, right?
Yeah.
If he beats me, then I'm 9-2. He's 8-4. So then I'd have to lose again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's still possible, but if I beat him, it literally solidifies it.
I think the same thing with me. If I win this week, I think I'm in.
Yeah, so my mentality, I told my team already, we win, we get in, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I like it. Did you send him a group message on Instagram and everything? Boys, I need y'all to show up.
Well, who was that one that messaged someone?
Somebody did that, bro.
Player? I can't remember who the player was.
No, it was on the Raw St. Brown. Remember somebody
right,
started a group Instagram message with his whole fantasy team, and he was like, look, boys, I need y'all to show up, yada, 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 like went on this big old spiel, and Amon-Ra St. Brown screenshotted it and posted his story and was like, this made me fucking laugh. Because
Yeah,
that dude like messaging him up,
I
was like trying to hype him
that,
up. That shit was funny as fuck. Next game we got the Jets at the Patriots.
Garbage, dude.
We talked about.
Thank God there was a what was it? The kick return, punt return for a touchdown. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, because I was not ready to watch that in overtime.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no fucking way these offenses were gonna score in overtime. Like, Jesus Christ, get the fuck out of here. It was a punt.
It was just an ugly game.
Well, it was a punt return. Yeah,
punt return for a touchdown with like 20 seconds left.
Jesus fucking.
What's funny was when he caught that ball, I was like, dude, he's going to the house. It just looked good the way, like, you know how you can tell punt returns, right? Like he takes like 2-3 steps and it starts to look good, and you're like, oh yeah, he's gone. Like normally you fucking know
once
from the start.
Once you make it, like once you catch the ball and like you make it past like the first two dudes.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this has a chance.
Yeah, no, for sure. We talked about Zach Wilson enough. I'm not going to talk about that again.
77 yards for 922.
Yeah.
Wow, what a stat line. Didn't cost his team though. Moving on.
A lot of people try to say, well, there was wind, and but there was wind, but Mac Jones was in the same environment and still threw fucking 276 yards, 246. Yeah, so it's like, come on, dude.
Yeah, like 23 or 27.
Yeah.
Like missed what four.
Granted, they were throwing short passes, but that's what you got to do in that environment. I mean, Bill Belichick knows. We talk about it all the time. Not going to talk about that game much because that was just ugly. Next, we got the Rams at the Saints, two garbage teams.
There is one thing to talk about. David Andrews.
Who the fuck is David Andrews?
Long-time center for the Patriots. Might be done for the year.
Oh, really?
That's a pretty big injury for them.
I didn't know that.
The only reason I know him, too, is because like he's in the division, but also, too, like we tried to sign him last year.
Damn. That's tough.
Yeah, definitely one of the better, like, not like, I'm going to say he's like the top guard in the league, or center in the league, sorry, but he's like one of the best.
Definitely
he's
up there, yeah.
Pretty good.
That's definitely a big loss if he is out. Next, we got the Rams at the Saints. The Saints pretty much had control of this game the whole time.
Yeah. I remember seeing, what's his name? Taysom Hill came in a couple times on red zone. I saw him throwing the ball in.
Chris Olave caught like a 60-yard touchdown pass. That was nice to see. Literally saved my fantasy team.
Yeah, I did see that one. That was a big bomb, yeah.
Which is crazy because this whole time everybody's been talking about, like, especially for fantasy, they're like, well, Chris Olave is second in the NFL in air yards, and it's like, yeah, but he's got none of these long touchdown passes. Like, what the fuck, man? And then he finally gets one. So it was nice to see. He definitely saved my fantasy team. Him and George Kittle putting up fucking 20 points on Monday night fucking saved my ass. And it's even better because this week in the league I'm talking about where Olave and Kittle saved my team, I had Tyreek Hill, Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne all on bye. So it's like my three hardest hitters were fucking on bye, and then my other hard hitter, Justin Jefferson, dropped fucking 3.3 points. Like, fuck am I going to do with that? You know what I mean? But the rest of my fucking team stepped up, so we'll fucking take it. And then I also had a fucking zero from the Cincinnati defense and a 0 from fucking Kadarius Toney. So I don't know.
I didn't know, dude. When I beat Nathan this week, my team was down bad. I think I had a negative points on defense.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I had negative points out of Rondell Moore, and negative points out of Broncos defense.
Yeah.
And then Mike Williams, got injured too. For like, he had 2.5 points. Like, those are the games that I'm like, if I lose, like, I'm literally gonna like snap because like I had everything going right for me, and then everything just fell apart.
I feel that. I won in a standard league with 70 points, which is not a lot.
That is not a lot at all.
Yeah, I don't know how I did. Moving on. Rams, they suck. We talked about it. Saints, they're mediocre. I think they just need a quarterback. I would honestly put Jameis Winston back in, but that's just me.
I think the Saints have one of the nicest teams.
Oh, 100%.
Like, looking for a quarterback, like, it depends on Michael Thomas, but, like, you got Olave, you got Kamara. Their defense, if they can keep it together, because by manipulating the cap some more.
Yeah, they seem
Like that
to do
defense
every
is
year.
on paper not bad. I feel like the defense probably stat-wise probably isn't great, but also too you got to think the offense probably is not staying out there
No,
very long,
100%.
so you're gonna get a gas at some points in the game.
Yeah. Next we got the Lions at the Giants. Boy, the Lions just love to look good at certain points and then just suck at other points. Like, it's just so inconsistent.
I don't even really remember this game.
It was a blowout. I mean, 31-18.
Wasn't very close.
Yeah. I think the Giants have a good record, and they have a good team, and they play well at times. But I just think
Saquon Barkley got shut the fuck down.
if Saquon gets shut down, and their defense doesn't hold them to a low score, you know what I mean? I think they just struggle to win games. I think they're definitely going towards the right direction as an organization, and they're getting there. Still think they're just a few pieces away from actually being a contender.
Well, like I said, they're gonna probably make the playoffs because of how bad it is.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't know if it's gonna be good for the team.
Yeah, no, for sure. Moving on, we got the Raiders and the Broncos. They're both 3-7. They both suck. Devontae Adams is fucking built different.
Devontae Adams literally won this game.
Yeah, he had two fucking
He was
like
making
deep
plays.
touchdown pass catches. Like, dude's just always making plays. It seemed like he's killing it for sure.
Russell Wilson's garbage. I'd ask for a refund if I was the Broncos.
We talk about it time and
Whoa,
again.
whoa. Wait.
What?
The Broncos are part of probably what? The two biggest quarterback controversy contracts now.
Which one?
They
Russell Wilson
signed
and what?
Russell Wilson, and then they gave you guys Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, I know.
That's wild.
Yeah, they're involved.
So they were on the opposite end. That's karma, I guess, coming full circle, right?
It is fucking karma for sure.
You sent away that guy to get paid away, and now you're dealing with the consequences of paying to the guy now. You're paying your Brock Osweiler now.
I think Russell probably. I heard somebody say it. I didn't watch this game a whole lot, and it's probably bad to say something what somebody else says, and I don't know if it's true, but I think I heard somebody. It was either this week or last week that somebody was talking about this was arguably probably Russell's best game. And if that's the case, then I'd hate to see his fucking worst game.
The bar is fucking low,
The
dude.
bar is low as fuck at this point. But I mean, I think you picked the Broncos in this, and I picked the Raiders.
You gotta feel so stupid for if you're a Broncos fan and buying his jersey.
Dude,
Like, oh, new quarterback, we're getting him a big contract. Like, let's go.
our team's solid. All we're missing is a
He
QB.
just shits the fucking bed.
What's even crazier, right? Like if you look back to last year, right, and you were to say the Broncos, you would be like, yeah, they got a good defense. They got some weapons on the offensive side of the ball. All they're generally missing is a quarterback, right?
Traded for fucking Russell Wilson. Like, yeah, let's go.
You traded for Russell Wilson, and here you are sitting with a worse record than you had last year. How does that happen, man? Like, that's just crazy. I'd hate to be a fan of them. And I know I literally touch on this every week, but the Seahawks are just fucking... They either know something we don't, or they just took a chance and it's worked out, but they literally stole the fuck out of everything in this draft. Like, they ended up with fucking... Or in this trade. Like, they ended up with 3 draft picks, whatever it was, and got some fucking studs out of it. Like, they're looking like such fucking winners right now, and like huge, massive winners.
There's literally a TikTok I saw, and the guy's tracking how many weeks it will take Russell Wilson to throw as many touchdowns as he has bathrooms in his house.
I've seen that guy, and he's
You
got
seen
like
that
12
video?
bathrooms.
He's got
And
he's got like 12 or
only
14 bathrooms.
Yeah.
He's got like fucking.
At this rate, he's not even gonna get there. Yeah, no, that TikTok is fucking hilarious.
That
bro.
shit is so funny, dude.
So
Because like
funny.
I remember reading the comments on like Twitter. I found the video on Twitter too, and like people were commenting like, "Oh my god, dude, this is probably like you probably thought this was only gonna last for like 2 weeks, and here
Yeah.
you are."
No,
Week
100%.
week 10 and you're still going strong. The one that he just put out that I saw, he was like, he did not throw any touchdowns this week.
Yeah.
So he did not. His touchdown total does not increase.
It remains the same.
And as far as I know, they did not add any bad. Like, oh my god, that's so sad.
No, that shit is comedy. Moving on, we got the Cowboys at the Vikings. Just ugly. I mean,
I honestly thought the Cowboys were gonna lose. Like, not bad, but like, what the
nobody
fuck,
expected
Vikings?
this, dude. Like, this boils down to, you know what this boils down to? It wasn't 1 o'clock Kirk Cousins. It was 4 o'clock Kirk Cousins. And the later it gets in the day for Kirk Cousins, the worse the team plays, the worse he plays. Like,
dude, I have no idea.
I don't know. They just didn't show up. Kirk Cousins had fucking pressure in his face the whole fucking game. I mean, I'm gonna give credit. Like, the Cowboys played their fucking
Cowboys
asses off.
fucking destroyed
Yeah.
the Vikings. Like, dismantled that O-line and said, "Get the fuck out of the way."
I don't think this is a game is an accurate representation of both of these teams. Like, in my opinion,
Definitely not.
I think the Cowboys are worse than beating the Vikings 40-3, and I think the Vikings are better than losing to the Cowboys 40-3. You know what I mean? Like, I think the Vikings
I think
are
it's
better,
like
and I
we
think the
talked
Cowboys
about.
are
They
worse.
just match up.
Different, yeah.
Maybe the Cowboys, like the Cowboys defense matches up probably good. Cause, like, I don't know, the Vikings O-line hasn't been great for many years. I'm not sure how it is like this year, but it's like that.
I know for
That
sure.
Cowboys defense is just nasty, like blitzing the quarterback.
No, for sure. And I mean, their defense is definitely crazy this year. I know the Vikings O lineman Christian Darrisaw, their left tackle. He was like questionable at the start of the game, and he ended up playing. And I think he ended up leaving the game early. So that definitely doesn't help against a D line like the Cowboys.
Oh, there you
go. But still, I mean, that's not an excuse for how their team played overall. Tony Pollard was just doing whatever he wanted to the Vikings defense as well.
Oh my god, I'm so glad I started him.
Yeah, that
He
was
untouchable.
He was definitely untouchable.
Please stop feeding Zeke.
Me and my dad were talking about this today. Like, Zeke is just so washed, man. Give the ball to Pollard. The dude's just so much more dynamic. Like, I understand you're paying Zeke this much and you want to give him the ball. And who's to say that Pollard doesn't do as good as he does because of Zeke? Like, that's a possibility, sure, but it doesn't seem that way. Yeah, like,
he was fucking doing it without him.
No, 100%.
He looks so much better.
So, just miles better.
Like, so much better.
Next game, we had the Bengals at the Steelers. Bengals kind of put it on the Steelers. I know the game's it's close. Like, the Steelers put up some points here, but the Bengals were just in complete control of this game the whole time, it felt like.
I don't know about that.
I think so.
Joe Burrow had 2 picks. Like, it wasn't like...
yeah, but did you see those
like
2 picks?
Blow them out.
Did you see those 2 picks?
I think the one was tipped, wasn't it? I remember seeing it.
One of them, fucking TJ Watt literally jumped like 5 foot high and caught the fucking ball and then fucking just came down with it. Like, it was a disgusting play from TJ Watt. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the score's close, but it just seemed like the Bengals were like always ahead. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it never seemed like they were struggling to move the ball. It seemed like they just could go down and score at will when they wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, the Steelers' defense definitely made some plays. But like I said, in my opinion, it just seemed like the Bengals were always in the driver's seat. Like, yeah, the Steelers kind of kept it close, but I don't know.
I mean, going to the half, it was...
I think it was 2017
like
or something.
Yeah, 2017. So I was like, it's a close game. I wouldn't say it was like an easy win or like... You know
I don't think it was an easy win. I just mean like the aspect of like the Bengals were never down. They were always winning. You know what I mean? Like they never had to come from behind. They were always just controlling the game in my eyes. You know what I mean? It definitely wasn't an easy win though. The Steelers made it tough. The Steelers offense didn't look half bad. You know what I mean? I still don't know what to think about Kenny Pickett. I know it's still early, but Najee had himself a day.
It's great to see Najee Harris fucking do something finally this year. Najee Harris fantasy owners rejoice.
I didn't draft Najee in any of my leagues because I don't think he's a good running back. Like, I think he's a good running back. I don't really like him for fantasy, so I didn't draft him in any league. But there was this one league that I took over. There was a dynasty, and somebody else had drafted the team, and I took the team over. And Najee was on there, and Aaron Jones, and I just don't like having both of them on my team. So I instantly got on there and was trying to trade Najee away. I think I ended up trading Najee for Dameon Pierce in like a second-round pick or something. Because I was like, I just got to get Najee off my fucking team, bro. He's so bad. Yeah, right? And then I tried to trade...
It's so crazy to me because Najee was like a projected to be a first-round pick, too.
Oh, yeah. I tried to trade Aaron Jones for like Kenneth Walker, like kind of the same deal, like Aaron Jones in a second for like Kenneth Walker, but the dude wasn't fucking taking it. Which I don't blame him. I think I feel like I fleeced the first guy with the Najee pick, but
100%.
Moving on, we got the Chiefs and the Chargers. I'm pretty sure the first time they played this year, the score was the exact same. Again, I think I fell asleep during this game. These Sunday night games are making me fall asleep somehow. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because I'm tired on Sundays. I don't normally wake up that early, but I do to watch football. So I feel like by the time Sunday night rolls around, I'm taking a fucking nap. So I missed like a portion of this, but I did see like the last drive where the Chiefs came back and won. And then Herbert had a chance to go down and he threw another pick, right?
What do you know? Forcing is a double coverage.
Yeah. Just, we talk about it all the time. Nick's not a big fan of Herbert, and I don't necessarily blame him. I'm not, like, the biggest fan. I do think he's a good quarterback. I mean, he hasn't really won. He seems like he chokes a lot.
I feel like he's good, but he's honestly he reminds me of Phillip Rivers.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. I could see that.
A good quarterback, talented, but just can't win games. Can't win the big ones.
Yeah.
When the moments are fucking brightest, he just shuts down.
I could see that.
I mean, what is it? Back-to-back weeks now, he's giving away the game.
Yeah.
And then you can also make the argument like, oh, well, he fucking put his team up by a score and they gave up a touchdown. You know what I mean? Like, I get it, but at the end of the day, it's like 30 seconds left, 3 timeouts. Like, you have all the time in the world.
Yeah, I agree.
You're supposed to be a franchise quarterback. Go make franchise plays.
Yeah, I do think, like, if you're looking at the Chargers team as a whole, something's got to give with their defense, right? Like, it just seems like every week they're just getting torched in the run game.
I mean, fuck, how many years are you going to keep rebuilding that team?
Yeah, no, it seems like they've been doing that ever since Rivers left. And
even
even when Rivers was there, they were still pretty much rebuilding.
Like, that defense has to be good at some point.
Yeah, you would think. Especially after signing J.C. Jackson, Khalil Mack, you got Joey Bosa. Like, you would have thought that this was the year. Granted, injuries, yeah, I get it for sure. But you would have thought this is the year that everything would have came together for their defense, and it just hasn't. Chiefs won again. Again, like you said, franchise quarterbacks in those moments figures out ways to win, and Mahomes did it. And then defense made a play on the Herbert pick on the last drive. I think the Chiefs are just, again, like we talk about all the time, just a dominant team. They always seem to win. They figure it out. You know what I mean? Just starting from coaching staff all the way to players, offense, defense, like everything works. You know what I mean? Definitely look like they finally got their run game going. We'll see how long it lasts. I know the Chargers' run defense is bad, so that's kind of why they did good. But the Chiefs can run the ball more, man. They can be so much more dynamic in my eyes.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, right. Next, we got the Monday night game. 49ers and Cardinals. Cardinals, no Kyler Murray. They still look in shambles. This 49ers offense is looking scary with all these weapons, Nick. Like
Debo, Kittle, McCaffrey.
Ayuk, like Elijah Mitchell even. Like Jimmy G's having a field day. He's like, I can throw it at anybody and they're going to make a play. Fuck, man. It's definitely a scary team. They're hitting their stride like they always do, where they fucking at the end of the year they start doing well and start to look like. I know a lot of people out there have them as like an NFC favorite, which I get 100%, and they're definitely looking scary right now. That's all I got for week 11. Nick, what you got? Is that it? You ready for predictions?
Yep.
Alright. Alright, so predictions. We got Thanksgiving games. We got 3 games on Thursday. On tomorrow, I'm so excited for. I'm not gonna update the prediction thing while we're doing this. I'll just go back and do it after the video publishes and everything.
I just thought when we're doing it, you're not gonna do it.
No, I'll do it. I'll do it like later tonight. I'm just not gonna do it while we do the episode.
How far?
How far? What?
I was gonna say how far in over I'll mark it.
So I know we talked about it. I've been making a comeback. I'm 4 games ahead of Nick now in the predictions. So he's got to figure it out if he wants to catch me now. I'm in the motherfucking driver's seat.
It is what it is.
Nah, I feel you. All right, so starting off with the Bills and the Lions. Who you got?
Bills.
Yeah, same. Imagine the Lions beat the Bills.
I mean, if the Lions offense shows up to drop 30 points, go for it.
Yeah, it's possible, I guess, maybe. I'm definitely taking the Bills, though. Giants at the Cowboys.
Going Giants.
You know what's funny? I heard a stat. The Cowboys are like 2-8 in the last 10 Thanksgiving games. I'm taking the fucking Giants, too.
Alright.
Plus, fuck the Cowboys, man. Nobody likes the Cowboys. Next, we got the Patriots and the Vikings on Sunday night. I'm taking the Vikings.
Oh my God. Going Patriots.
You know what's
Kirk Cousins
primetime Kirk Cousins? Yeah, you're not wrong. Primetime Kirk Cousins on Thanksgiving and against Bill Belichick.
That's what I'm saying. And you're playing Bill Belichick.
Yikes!
No way, dude.
I told my dad. I said I got a prediction, right? Because I always fucking throw predictions out there to my parents just because I get bored and I just think of random shit. I feel like Justin Jefferson, and I'm going to say it here just so it's out there in the universe. I feel like Justin Jefferson has a Randy Moss type of day. You know that game, well, I don't know if it was Thanksgiving or Christmas where Randy Moss had like the 3 touchdowns and like the 250 yards or some shit like that. You know what game I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like Justin on the bench. Yeah, I feel like Justin Jefferson has a game like that. I don't know why. I'm probably completely wrong, but I'm going to throw it out there just because I like to have fun. So you're taking Patriots?
Yeah.
All right, next we got Broncos at the Panthers. What a shit game.
I'm going Broncos. I don't trust Sam Darnold.
I don't either. I'm going to take the Broncos.
I mean, I'd rather pick a tie at that point for that game.
No, for sure. Buccaneers and Browns. I'm going to take the Bucks. I think the Bucks are starting to hit their stride a little bit. Brady. You say you're taking Tom Brady?
Yeah, I'll take Bucks.
Yeah, I think so too. Next we got the Ravens and the Jaguars.
Probably like the healthiest they've been, you know what I mean? They got
for sure.
Godwin back now. They lost what's his name, the running back a little bit there, went up Fournette.
Not sure but Rashad White's fucking.
That's what I'm saying. He was better.
Looks better for sure. That might be a situation like Zeke and Pollard. Like, I'm not saying that those guys.
They play him because he's paid so much money.
Maybe I don't even know if he makes that much money, but
he makes more money. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
more significant money, I guess you could say.
Yeah, 100%.
Nothing crazy though, probably.
We'll see what happens with that. I think Rashad White will get most of the touches in that game. Ravens and the Jaguars. This one's tough for me because I'm like a little mini fan of the Jaguars. I know they're like not the greatest, but I feel like they're better than their record. Not much better, but better. I'm gonna take the Ravens. Nick?
Sorry.
Hello? Yeah. You there?
Yeah. Sorry.
Ravens or Jaguars? Who you got?
Ravens.
Ravens.
One more.
Texans, Dolphins. We're both taking the Dolphins, right?
Yep.
All right.
I don't know if it's gonna be what is his name? Kyle? Is it Kyle Allen?
Kyle Allen, yeah, some shit like that.
Kyle Allen or David Mills? Who knows?
Either way, Dolphins fucking win that. Next, we got the Bears and the Jets. Who are you taking?
First game back from Mike White. Mike White. I'm gonna go Jets.
Jets. I'm gonna take the Jets too. I think they just match up better against the Bears.
I take the Bears, but Justin
Fit,
Fields is hurt.
yeah, dealing with the injury.
Who knows?
Bengals Titans. We got a rematch of the playoff game last year.
I'm gonna go Titans.
Fuck, I've been betting on the Titans. I'm going Bengals. Jamar's back. I'm going Bengals.
Alright.
Falcons Commanders. I'm gonna take the Commanders.
Wait, Falcons Commanders?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Commanders.
All right. Chargers at the Cardinals.
Chargers.
I'm going Chargers as well. Let's see. We got Raiders at the Seahawks. I'm going to roll with the Seahawks. Yeah. Rams at the Chiefs. I'm going to take the Chiefs. Yeah. Saints 49ers. I'm going to take the 49ers.
Yep, 49ers.
Packers at the Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles.
Yep.
Steelers at the Colts. I'm taking the Colts.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought so. All right, that's gonna wrap up week 12.
So what can I do? Make up what, 2 games on you? I think we disagreed on.
Yeah, I think we disagreed on the.
I don't remember.
We disagreed on the Bengals and the Titans, and then.
Oh, Patriots Vikings.
Patriots Vikings. Yeah, that was the other one. Yeah, so you
Still
can
2, right?
you can get 2. Yeah.
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 Alright.
All right, that's gonna do it. I think that's gonna wrap up the episode today.
Real quick, we can give up the standings.
The what?
The standings, we go for the standings real quick.
Oh, the playoff picture and shit?
Yeah, we'll do a quick update here. So, AFC East, we'll start with AFC. So AFC East here, we got the Dolphins. They're first. Bills, Patriots, Jets. Did not see that coming at all.
Yeah, me neither.
North, you got the Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Steelers. South, Titans, Colts, Jags, Texans.
Yep.
West, Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos. NFC East, you have the Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Commanders. Vikings, Lions, Packers, Bears for the North. South, Buccaneers. Falcons, Saints, Panthers. And then West for NFC, 49ers, Seahawks, Cardinals, Rams. The playoff picture right now is number 1 seed in the AFC is the Chiefs 8-2, number 2 Dolphins 7-3, Titans 7-3, 4 is Ravens 7-3, 5 is Bills 7-3, Patriots are 6-4 at the 6th seed, 7th seed is Bengals 6-4. That's the cutoff line. Right below the cutoff line is the Jets looking out, outside looking in, or on the out. Yeah, outside looking in? Or
yeah, outside looking in, yeah.
Yeah. So they're 8, they're the 8th seed, they're 6-4, Chargers are 9, they're 5-5, and then after that, I'd say nobody has a chance.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could say the Colts. The Colts are 4-6. After that, it's 3-7, 3-7.
Even then, I feel like the Colts probably don't make it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. So it's gonna be a battle for that last one for either the Jets, the Bengals, and probably the Chargers.
Yeah.
Patriots probably too.
If I were to guess, like, I feel like
It's
the
so
Patriots
hard.
and the Jets might be out. Like, I'd like to think the Chargers and the Bengals make
It's
it.
potentially gonna happen.
Yeah.
It depends how. The thing I'm surprised about is that they went with Mike
White
Jesus,
instead of Joe Flacco?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So I feel like Joe Flacco probably gives them a better option to win now
I think so
than
as well.
Mike White probably would. Quick breakdown. Excuse me, for the NFC. Number 1, Vikings 9-1.
Nope.
Or sorry, Eagles 9-1. Vikings number 2, 8-2. 49ers number 3, 6-4. Buccaneers number 4 at 5-5. Number 5, Cowboys at 7-3. Number 6 Giants at 7-3. Number 7 Seahawks 6-4. Outside looking in are the Commanders. Number 8 6-5. Falcons are ninth at 5-6, and I'd say that's pretty much probably it.
Yeah, this one's kind of crazy because you could maybe make the case. Granted, they're still sitting at 4-7, and I don't think that's likely to make the playoffs. But you could maybe
The
say,
Packers?
yeah, like you could maybe say the Packers, the Saints, and the Cardinals could potentially have a chance with how weak this NFC is.
I mean, yeah, but
I still think, yeah, no, I don't think
that's
it's
not like
likely.
the Lions are 4-6,
Yeah.
Packers 4-7,
Yeah, I would
Cardinals
have to like
4-7,
win out at this
Saints
point.
4-7. It's amazing like how bad
Yeah.
the teams fall off though.
Oh, I know. If you think about it, like on the bubble teams, you only have 2 in each conference. Like the Jets and the Chargers, and then the Commanders and the Falcons. Like,
I mean, every team has 3 wins
yeah,
or more except for the Texans.
it literally seems like the playoff picture is already done with. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like
It's pretty much set the teams
Yeah.
almost. It's
It
just
might
like
interchange a
who's gonna
couple.
finish where.
yeah. I agree.
So real quick too, the highest losing streak is the Texans right now at 5 games,
Wow.
and the
Yeah,
highest
fuck.
winning streak is shared amongst a couple AFC teams. We have the
Dolphins,
Chiefs on a 4, Dolphins on a 4,
Titans on
and Ravens on a 4.
Ravens on a 4. Yeah. I think the Titans
That's-
have won the last 6 of 7. Because I think they started off like 1.
They're on
1 and
a 2-game win streak right now.
2. Yeah.
It's wild to think about
No, for
that
sure.
all the 4-game win streaks are on
AFC.
yeah. Oh, another thing to note actually too, now that I'm looking at this. So the Lions actually are on the come up. They were on a 3-game win streak, Craig.
Yeah. No, I know that it's crazy.
So they are bringing it back. And then the 49ers are also on a 3-game win streak.
I
think
just-
that's the only teams.
I just keep
Oh, and
looking
the
at.
Patriots.
I keep looking at this NFC playoff picture, Nick. The Lions are above the
It's doable.
Packers, the Saints, the Cardinals, the Rams. Like, the Lions actually have a shot at the playoffs, which is fucking crazy.
It's doable. They just have to fucking literally play perfect football, but
Yeah, in my eyes, in order for the Falcons or
it
any
can
team
happen,
below
but
the
it's gonna be
Falcons,
really hard.
any team below the Falcons, in my eyes, almost has to win out to make the playoffs.
You have to either win out or you have to get lucky, like someone
Yeah.
beats someone somewhere to help you get
100%.
in. You do not at this point. I think no matter what, they probably have to have help, right?
Yeah, no,
Pretty much almost.
yeah,
It's like-
unless like the
Unless you win out, right? Like
that, and unless the
I don't know who they
Seahawks or the
play, so
Giants
it's like-
start taking shits and just literally lose out, like that would be the only way.
It's gonna be hard,
Yeah,
but it ain't over till it's over. You know what I mean?
and I mean same thing with the
Never know.
AFC. Like, in order for the Colts to make it, they would have to like win out and maybe get a little help. And same thing with the Jags. Like, the whole AFC is like 3-7. It seems like so. It's pretty much
Except
set.
for the Texans.
Yeah. Fucking Texans 1-8-1 dog shit ass team. I'm such a hater of my own team. It's crazy. Yeah.
I told you every team literally has 3 wins or more,
Yeah.
except for the
Except
Texans,
for the Texans, which is crazy.
which is wild.
Because we honestly expected like the Texans, the Lions, the Giants, even the Seahawks, the Bears, like all these teams we expected to literally not even win 4 games, and here they are already have 3, or you know what I mean. Most of them do 6, 7. Like
And here's the Texans looking
looking
bummed
like
as
how we
fuck.
expected.
like, damn, we're really the worst of the worst.
It's so bad, bro. Like it's so funny every week.
At this point, Craig, you should be doing your homework on if you want fucking
Bryce Young or CJ Stroud.
Bryce Youngers, yes,
Yeah.
or one of those
It's funny you say
quarterbacks
that
from an unknown
because
school.
it's funny you say that because I still don't know who I would prefer. I haven't watched either of them enough to know, and they're probably going to end up. One of them's going to end up being our quarterback. I feel like.
Imagine that they go against the cardinal rules and they pick some guy from an unknown school that literally just like got brought up on draft day.
What's funny is in the past the Texans have been very bad about drafting the wrong person in the first round. So I would not be surprised if somehow they don't even take a quarterback. That's like one year, the year we drafted fucking Mario Williams, you had Vince Young on the board, you had Reggie Bush on the board, and we went fucking Mario Williams over them two. Like, what are we doing?
You talking about Mario Williams, the defensive end?
Yes, we drafted him over Vince Young, and we needed a
That
quarterback
was like,
bad. Granted,
was he like a 4th overall pick? I think.
yeah, some shit like that.
3rd,
And
4th.
granted, Vince Young didn't work out, but he goes to a different team. You never know. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, you never know.
But Texans are notorious at fucking shit up. That's just like they drafted Derek Stingley Jr. over fucking Sauce Gardner. Like nobody. Derek Stingley's been good, I think, but I think Sauce Gardner's better, and I think everybody thought he was better. But fucking Texans always do the Texan thing.
Only bad teams get a bad team.
Yeah, it is what it is. With that being said, that's gonna wrap up episode 15. Again, sorry about the delay in episode. Sorry about the chalked episode. It is what it is. We hope y'all still enjoy it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you want us to do next week. We'll be back Monday with an episode. We'll be doing it live and we'll post it Tuesday. I'm probably going to try to post this episode as soon as we get done with it. So it'll be on YouTube for anybody that's out there live watching right now. But yeah, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all.
Yup.
Nick, you got anything else?
Appreciate the support. Keep it up. Go Dolphins.
Hell yeah, brother.
And go Jets.
Oh, and again, anybody out there, happy Thanksgiving. I know
True. Happy Thanksgiving.
Canada's Thanksgiving's different, right? Y'all's was like last month or something?
It was already in October.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Done. It's over.
Any Americans out there, happy Thanksgiving. Hope y'all enjoy some turkey and some fucking food. And enjoy the football games tomorrow. Stay safe.
Tell your family you love them.
Yep.
Tell them that you're thankful.
Yep. We'll catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.